casting would be absolutely great. And I got there, and it was boring as all get out. And I realized that what had happened was this glorious city and this wonderful country and the whole of South America, because we had people from everywhere. We had people from Mexico, we had people from Central America, Colombia, Brazil, Ecuador, God knows where we didn't have people from, as well as from America. But these wonderful people had wrapped themselves around us and simply said, why don't you let us help? And without realizing it, we had allowed them to do that, and by God they did. And I got to love everything that I knew about Colombia. I got to love the city, and I did get to love everybody I met from South America. And I'm very proud to bring this film, which I greatly hope that you enjoy, in front of you, lots and lots of you, South American, all of you Latin. And I hope we got it right. And I really hope you enjoy it. Thank you for inviting us. And if you see us creep out after 10 minutes, it's only because we know what happens next. All right?
Have you seen it?
Yes, we saw it last night.
So does it do the trick for you?
It
does.
does
It do the trick for them?
No. Well, we actually we started talking about the fact that maybe for a younger audience, it's a little too racy.
Yeah.
But it's
how interesting.
For me, I loved it.
Racy in what way? That's fascinating.
They are both more conservative than I am.
Sexy.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
But I loved it because I love Marquez,
Yeah.
and I thought your rendition of it on film was wonderful.
Right.
The colors were wonderful. The story was wonderful. Yeah.
Not too racy.
But too
How
racy.
fabulous! I made a movie that's too racy. That's great.
It was really good.
It was the fact that there was a couple of younger people in the group that we didn't necessarily think should have been there for the movie.
Oh, okay.
So that
It was perfect for
for
us.
Right.
What we find is that it kind of clicks from about 28 years old onwards. Below that, people just think, people are slightly disgusted by the old bodies at the end.
Oh no, I think it's a beautiful movie.
Whereas me, who now has an old body,
That's right.
knows that the war is over.
Right. Actually,
The war is lost.
to a certain extent, I felt like it was the movie, the song from Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart Club Band, where Paul McCartney writes this wonderful song where he says, "Will you still love me when I'm 64?"
That's right.
And you wonder how someone that young can be so perceptive and write that line.
Yeah.
And I thought the movie was kind of like that, in that how could someone not quite yet there write that mysticism and then execute it?
Yes.
Because as you get older, then all of a sudden you realize.
Well, that was a big thing for me, at any rate, personally, making it. Are you running? That's a
yes.
relief. It was that when I'd first read it in the mid-80s, I'd read it very, very fast because my first kid had just been born, so I didn't have a lot of time for anything.
You didn't have time to read it, yeah.
And then I read it 20 years later, and saw it for what it was, that it's this great, generous, loving, life-affirming disquisition on really not necessarily love, but just what it's like being human and getting through the day.
Yes. The human condition, yes.
And I then realized that, of course, the way that the material works, the novel works, is that you have to have done a bit of living before you really get it.
Yes, yes. And
he wrote it in his mid-50s.
And the ending, well, actually, yes, because I'm in my mid-50s now, and the ending to me was like, oh, I am so much closer to that, and now I finally get. You think love is one thing in your 20s, and then you come to your 50s, and it's a different circumstance, because you've ridden the path.
Yes.
And you've been damaged by it.
Well, he talks about exactly that. There's a wonderful passage in the book where he says that Farina and the doctor have had troubled times, but now they have reached, his phrase is, they have reached the further shore.
Yes. yes.
So no matter how bad it gets from here, at least you got across the river.
You've gotten across the river, and that's what, last night, that message in the movie towards the end was very significant to me. But I think you do.
That love is timeless.
Yes, yes, and it's also, it's not all beautiful.
No.
It's actually very trying,
Yeah.
you know, and it's a path that doesn't go straight.
That's what's so interesting
Yes.
about the book. Absolutely, the difficulties of love and the, and for me, when I read the book, when he talks about how marriage ends in the after you make love and begins again in the morning.
Yes.
That's such a beautiful.
Yes, yes.
And how the
Yes.
widows were happier after the husbands
Yes.
died because they had
Yes.
freedom.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
so many little things that,
Yeah.
you know, he talks about love, but he talks about how it's not just one
No, right.
dimension.
No,
There's-
he's absolutely, that's the wonderful thing about
Yeah.
reading it, is you know he's been there in
Yes.
every single
facet.
way.
Yes, well, I like the fact that Firmino is still a virgin. After all of this, I find it so intensely humorous
Yes,
that he can actually verbalize that.
yes.
You know, it's
Yes.
Florentino.
Right.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, you know, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get it,
Sometimes,
yeah.
sometimes that gets a great big wah, wah,
Yeah.
wah, laugh.
Yeah, there was a lot of humor in the movie,
Yeah.
a lot of humor. Yeah.
Last question?
I
She's
do,
got it.
and it's for Laura. I've been dying to meet you.
Here.
I've been following you in the sense of how you've grown on TV. I think the first movie that I've seen you in was Forbidden Dance.
Oh my
And-
gosh.
Oh, yeah, takes you way back with that. And so, excuse me. And so I just want to find out, and many questions actually. Why, one, are you still holding the U.S. title of Miss Latina USA? What advice do you give to those young viewers from Chile?
I'm not holding that title. I was Miss USA.
No.
Oh, but the first Hispanic, you mean?
Right.
Right.
Because according to my knowledge,
I was the first Hispanic.
You're right. I don't believe there was another one after you, right? Another
Oh, I
Latina?
haven't kept up with it.
I don't think there is. That's why. What advice do you give to those young viewers out there? And how has it become very challenging as Latina to actually hold a role on TV, on silver screen? And what advice do you give to those who are aspiring to be like you? I mean,
Thank
because
you.
you do have a good quote here, and I can restate that later on, and you can probably elaborate for 2 seconds.
Okay, for me, the most important thing in life is the journey, and it's enjoying what you do. And that's basically the secret that I found, is that I travel a lot in my free time. I'm dancing, I'm doing commedia dell'arte, I'm always busy doing something creative, so I don't have to depend and be so desperate for work because my creative juices are flowing, you know, all the time. But I think that the advice I would give is to always follow your heart, because I think the mind can be very tricky and can take you down the wrong road. But your heart always knows the truth, and that's why I just love being a part of this movie, because it's the language of love, it's international, it's very human, and I'm very grateful to Mike for giving me a chance, you know, putting me on. We were just discussing that, you know, I've been in Hollywood for so many years, and I've been Latina, and because of herring, and because I'm white, and because of the way I speak, people didn't think I was Latin. And even Mike doubted me for a minute, you know, that whether I spoke Spanish fluently, if I was really from Mexico. And I think this movie, thanks to Mike, is going to let people know that I dance every Latin dance there is, you know, and I speak Spanish fluently and have traveled all over Latin America, and I'm Latina.
And it was really important to us to have that.
It is important.
And I had not begun to see the fallout from simply your skin being pale. That's fascinating. I had no idea.
It's the skin and also the way I speak.
Speak very articulate.
They say I'm very articulate and that I should be more like
Earthy?
like street.
Yeah,
more.
street.
What
We have to
challenges
wrap,
did you
Lee.
face? Okay.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sorry.
They're gonna go rehearse for their awards.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
sure.
see, I
Okay,
see.
challenges.
Challenge
And then
was
what's your big
basically
break?
breaking the
What's it-
stereotype of what
Okay.
Latins are, you know, and slowly, I think really the doors have opened thanks to a lot
Yes.
of different actors that are interpreting all different kinds of roles, and they're giving us better opportunities. There's more and more movies and more roles, and everybody now wants to do Latin themed movies. There's lots of funds, so,
Yeah.
you know, for this very untapped market.
And actually, the community, the Latin community, wants to see us in those roles, representing us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your
People want
next
to see
project?
themselves.
Absolutely.
People
What's
do
your
want to
next
see
project?
themselves and
I'm working
not
on
see
a-
other
See
people
other
faking
people.
it.
Spanish film. My first Spanish film. I'm filming in Argentina.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's the first one ever that I speak Spanish in, so I'm very excited
The
about
name,
that.
when is it coming?
Well, it's temporarily called Cluj. I play a French character, but I speak Spanish in it.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much, Laura, and thank you so much, Mike, for your time.